Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're back on the 2-star army account. This is my free-to-play giveaway account that I'm doing with all 2 stars progressing through to Wrath 10. As you can see on screen, I was lucky enough, it was actually while I was editing this video, I just got a random soul stone from an achievement, popped it, and boom, out came this Water Shogun. He's a great unit. I'm really happy. I thought this account was starting to have a bit of bad luck. Hadn't really got any good NAT3s on it yet, and I'm still waiting on my unicorn for the Wrath team. But when this guy came out, I got really excited. He's a great unit. I'd love to have him on my main account. He's got the AoE Paralyze and increases the chance of them receiving a critical hit. And then he's also got the AoE attack bar reduction. So not the best NAT4 in the game, but definitely not the worst, and I actually think he's a really great unit for PvP and TOT especially. So glad we got him, but now we'll move on to the main content of the video, and that's what I've been doing for this week in the Fresh account. This week I haven't actually been able to play the account that much. I've been logging in, doing dailies and that sort of thing, trying to grind a little bit as I could. So this week's been all about, originally it was going through just farming that nightmare mode on floating islands, getting some better vitality glyphs, and leveling up and 4-starring my main team. Whilst I was just farming fodder to get a bunch of 3 stars ready, I was lucky enough to have a 9-pack that I pulled both the Water Nymph and the Wind Assassin in. So I've put those both into my team as well, so I got those guys 4-starred as well. And what I did was, as soon as I got them 4-starred, then I jumped out of floating islands and moved into the elemental dungeons. And I got them a few levels up originally, but then I thought, why not just level them while I'm getting the evolution material? So like I said in the last video, I don't mind doing the first stage of a 3-stage evolution early on, because it's easy to get the materials. Once you start needing those the larger evolution materials, it becomes harder. And like I said, I wanted to 4-star my team before I started getting those evolution materials, because it just makes it more efficient, because you can farm a higher level when they're at 4-star. So I was able to do the water at level 5, which was very good. So you're normally getting one of those large evolution materials every 2 runs or so at level 5, so that was good. Wind was terrible. The wind one's a hard one, because my healer and main support are both water, and it's got that the reset ability and the blind. It's really tough. I couldn't do it on 4, so I just farmed it on 3 for a while. Got the evolution materials for my golem, and then eventually got them for my Wind Assassin. And whilst I was doing that, I realized that I hadn't unlocked all my slots in the shop yet. And I know in one of my other videos I said wait till later to unlock it, but especially now, since the shop refreshes every hour, you get more value out of it. So I had someone also in one of my videos comment that they found the shop useful earlier too, because they were finding glyphs to complete sets. Seeing as I'm still on vitality, it doesn't really matter, but once I start trying to piece together my haste and precision sets from Wrath, it will be handy. But yeah, I recommend unlocking those slots earlier now, because you get every hour refresh, and if you can check it every hour, that's where I started buying the larger evolution materials when they were up for crystals. And I've gotten a fair few. I've probably gotten 6 or 7 in the last few days. So it's very handy, because they're just hard to farm, especially the ones from Tower of Houses, because you always get the ones you don't want. So yeah, so Wind was only level 3. And then I went into Tower of Houses, and I was actually able to do that on level 6. And so the teams I used were, in the water dungeon, I was doing Ice Knight, Wind Assassin, Water Nymph, and Water Bird. I didn't really need the Golem defense that much, because even if my Nymph died towards the end, the others would carry it through anyway. The Wind was just, I think it was like Ice Knight, Assassin, Golem, and Nymph, or something like that. That was just the quickest runs I could do on 3, because I tried every combination and couldn't do it on 4, so I just tried to go for what was quick on level 3. And then Tower of Houses was Ice Knight, Water Nymph, Wind Golem, and Water Bird originally, and then once I evolved my Wind Assassin, I could put her in instead of the Ice Knight. Just early on, she just kept dying too early in the second or third wave, so that's why I wasn't using her early, but now she's fairly well kitted out. I'll go through the glyphs on my monsters, and basically these glyphs are pretty much where they were when I started farming the elemental dungeons. Because when I was farming my fodder up and getting them leveled, I kept getting new glyphs, so then I put the glyphs that I wanted on them and powered them up to where they are now, and that's pretty much where they've sat for the last sort of 4 days or so while I've just been farming evolution materials. So that's my Ice Knight. And all these guys are pretty much on 1 or 2 speed glyphs, and the rest are either HP or defense, mixture of flat and percentage. It's just what I had at the time. Obviously, the weaker monsters I prefer flat. Guys like the Ice Knight and the Golem, I want percentage, but it's just whatever I could work out and throw on with what they had, and I didn't want to be taking some off and replacing, so what they had was what they got. So that's my Ice Knight. My Water Nymph's actually looking fairly good considering it's full greens. She's actually got a defense in one of the top slots, so she's a bit slow, but good HP, average but okay defense for this stage of the game. Waterbird, similar, got good defense. The HP is a little lower than Nymph, but good speed as well, 2 speeds. Still got 1 blue one there, so plenty of room to upgrade. The Assassin also got a defense one on the top. Could use with a bit more defense and less HP, but the bottom 4 are all HP because that's all I had for her. The 2 bottoms are only 7. I like to get everything to roughly 7 to 10, preferably 10 at this stage when you're in greens and yellows. And then Golem, which is the last one, he's got decent glyphs and he's just very tanky base stats anyway, so that's where he's at. So that was their stats when they were doing those runs, and then I've gradually leveled them through farming those materials. The last evolution I have to do is my Waterbird, and I'm a little ways off on it. Just these, the arcane essences, they're just, I seem to get everything else under the sun besides them, and I've needed those to evolve my my Nymph and my Assassin as well. I did those 2 before the bird because they're just naturally lower base HP and defense, or defense in the Nymph's case, and I just wanted to get them tankier first before the bird. Plus the bird also evolved into the heal, so has that extra sustain that the others don't. So that's my reasoning behind doing the bird last, but hopefully in the next day or so I'll get that. And then after that, I'm going to move on to the Wrath dungeon. And I did a quick test. I just before I recorded this video, I went into the Wrath dungeon and decided to see how far I could get with it, with just the monsters I had. And I ended up clearing level 6 comfortably. And the team would just ended up being the Water Nymph, the Waterbird, Wind Golem, Wind Assassin, and the Water Stone Guard, just because I haven't pulled that 5th unit that I want. If I had either the Wind Unicorn or the Earth Basilisk, it would have been either one of those 2. And I feel like with those 2, either one of them, I would be able to clear level 7 easily. The trouble with level 7 is that the Wind Knoll on the boss stage has heal block, which really just devastates my team because I don't have resistance on any of my monsters, and they put that heal block on and you're basically screwed. So if I had the Unicorn to be cleansing that and get the heal, or the Basilisk to be stunning it so that he doesn't get the heal block on, I feel like I'd be safe at level 7, but as for now, I just I don't have that unit, so I'm pretty much stuck. I might try manualing my way through 7, and I'm not sure what the debuffs on level 8 are, so I might try level 8 and see if I can do that. But it's not a bad progression. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at the moment because, like I said, all I did was farm that Nightmare mode of Floating Islands and level fodder, and then basically just with the glyphs I got from leveling fodder to get my whole team 4-starred, I then just jumped straight into the evolutions and then evolved. You go to the Wrath dungeon and I'm already farming 6 comfortably. So what I'll aim to do is basically first I want to evolve my Waterbird to the final stage. Then I'm going to just start farming Wrath. So like I said, I'll try 7, see if I can get to 8 and farm 8. If not, I'll just drop back to 6, get some better glyphs. I'm going to keep doing 9 packs just to try and get that Unicorn or the Basilisk, something else to help me get through. But yeah, and if you're wondering why I'm not using my Ice Knight, I know a lot of people out there have used their Ice Knight just to solo through content, and you can get up to, after the patch, I think you can still solo 8 with him fairly well. I didn't want to do that. I did that on my last account, and it felt a little bit cheating, but it's not. It's just I wanted to try something different and try it, build up all my monsters and just work through it with a team instead of just relying on that one monster. So that's how I'm going to do it, and hopefully it'll be another few weeks to a month, and I'll just keep gradually progressing through. I think for next week I might also start having a look at Tower of Trial, see how far I can get in that, just out of curiosity. And yeah, but that's it for this video. Like I said last time, if you want to keep updated on these videos and progress through and see how I'm doing it, please subscribe. Like the video if it's helping you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Thanks.